At this point, what is the biggest misconception of you? What's a viewer opinion that is incorrect people have about you?
I think that people think that I'm bougie and like a little mean, and I'm really not. Like, I'm one of the most funniest, like, nurturing people. I do got a little attitude problem, but I'm not bougie at all. I'm very humble and down to earth.
Where do these misconceptions stem from?
It just come from me being broke and then getting some money. And then when you do that, everybody say you change. But I really been like this. My mouth been the same. My attitude been the same. It's just a little like I don't know. I can really do that now. Cause at first it was like I was just I used to just I don't know. I just always had some little about myself. So once I really started being able to do what I wanted to do and like buy the stuff I want to buy and get the type of cars I want to drive and stuff like that, then people start being like, oh, she bougie, thinks she better than that's just how things go.
Now, let's dissect some of these elements you just mentioned here. When we're talking about broke, what was your bottom point?
I feel like my bottom point is probably me really being like in East Cleveland, like sleeping on the floor with my god sisters and brothers, and we was like sleeping on the mattress, like not knowing what we gonna eat that night. Like I feel like that was probably like one of the lowest points in my life.
What age were you at the time?
I was in high school, and I don't even think that people knew that I was struggling because I kind of had like the best of both worlds, like I was raised by my grandfather, but my mother was like more so in the streets, and like she was just in tune with what was going on in the hood and stuff. So I used to like not want to be there like with my grandparents and stuff. Like I didn't want to be there with them. I wanted to be like more like outside seeing what's going on. So I was like in high school. I was a teenager, just going through life thinking that it was more out there, and it really wasn't.
And this was grandfather, grandparents on your mother's side, I'm assuming.
Yeah, on my mom's side.
And what high school was this that you're referencing here?
I actually went to two high schools. Like I said, I had the best of both worlds. I would say, like I grew up like on the hill of East Cleveland, so it's like once you go up the hill, like Taylor. Once you go up the hill, I live like on the first street. So I would say that was a little better than living down the hill in EC, because down the hill was like more poverty. It was like more crackheads, drug dealers, robberies, break ins, and stuff. And like once you got up the hill, it was more so on the borderline of Cleveland Heights. And Cleveland Heights had like, it was just a whole different world. So I wasn't able to go to Cleveland Heights School because technically I still lived in East Cleveland because I was on the borderline. So it was like my neighbor could go to Heights and I had to go to Shaw, which is like in East Cleveland. It's like right on Euclid and Shaw. It's called Shaw, but it's right on Euclid and Shaw. So I went there my my freshman and my sophomore year, I went to a private school, and that was all the way up in Cleveland Heights, and I hated it because all my life I went to East Cleveland School, so I'm used to big classrooms, I'm used to fights, I'm used to little entertainment, I'm used to getting dressed up, wearing what I want to wear, not really wearing everything I want to wear, but like wearing my tennis shoes and my different stuff. When I went to Lutheran East, which was up in Cleveland Heights off Mayfield, when I went there, it was like we had to wear blazers and skirts, and I hated it. Everybody had to wear the same thing. I feel like nobody could have no personality, and everybody was just like sheep. I felt like, and my sister, she was real wild when we was in high. Like she was real wild. She's older than me, so before I got to high school, and she was like doing her thing. I feel like she was wild. She was kicking it, and it was also a Christian school. Once I got there, it was like she had tightened up. She wasn't like me no more. She had tightened up. She was all into her Bible and stuff. And I love God. I'm a child of God. My mom kept us like going to church, choir, praise dance, stuff like that. But I just hated getting up every day, having to do that every single day. Like I just hated it. It was just too much for me. So that was my freshman and sophomore year. My junior and senior year, my grandfather, he knew I wasn't going to complete high school going to that school. So he was like, just let her go down the hill with her friends, her people, so that I could at least get through and get out his hair. So that's how I went.
And you did end up graduating there.
I did end up completing high school. I almost didn't graduate I almost didn't graduate. And I actually didn't even get to go to graduation.
Because?
I didn't get to go to graduation because of that private school. It was so much, the tuition was so high, and my family had got like a little bit behind. And once they got a little bit behind, it was like backed up. So it was a problem with my transcripts and all that. So they wouldn't let me get my cap and gown. It was just a lot. So I didn't end up completing everything. Like, I didn't end up getting to walk across the stage. I didn't complete everything till like that summer.
So even though you went to the school down the hill, because you went to the private school previously, that slowed things up for you to even walk.
Yeah, because you have to pay to go to those private schools. It's like going to college. You got to pay to go to those private schools. It's not free. Some people I knew went to those private schools for free because they had did certain things. We didn't do that. My grandfather just always wanted me and my sister to be better than everybody else in my family. So he at least tried to, give us a better opportunity, which my sister loved it. I hated it.
So when you went to the school down the hill, did your sister continue to stay in private school?
She graduated before me.
Oh,
so
okay.
by the time it was time, and that's another reason why I left too, because I was used to being with her all the time. Like, that was my backbone. So when she went to college, she went to Akron. When she went to college, I literally cried for days. Like, I felt like I got broke up with or something. Like, I was really hurt. Like, my sister be laughing at me now because I don't know, I was just so attached to her. I was hurt when she left. So that's another reason. I said, I'm really not going to that school. I'm not going to that school. She's the only person who even woke me up to get up and go there. Like, it was not going to happen.
So this was your older sister?
Yes, my big sister. Her name's Tiara.
Same mother, same father for both?
Same mama. You and I be in it. We got the same mama, though.
Now, when you say best of both worlds, let me just clarify here. Was it best of both worlds in the sense that you went to two different types of schools, or best of both worlds in the fact that you stayed in your grandparents' house, but then you would be at another person's house, like maybe your father, for example?
So I say best of both worlds by, like, okay, everybody didn't get to have the opportunity to live comfortably. So a lot of my friends that I went to school with, and like, since I was going to East Kim school, just because I lived up the hill, it was like we was still we was in poverty too. Like, we was kind of struggling to meet certain deadlines for bills and stuff like that. But a lot of my friends that I went to school with, they were struggling. Their moms and dads had like totally abandoned them. They was in foster care. Like, at least I was able to be with family. Like, they didn't have good clothes, shoes. Like, it's a lot of times where my grandfather, like, my family, like, we would like give food to families, clothes and stuff like that, because like they really didn't have. So that's what I mean by the best of both worlds, because I mean, I could be down there and play around and, have my fun, but I could also go home and be comfortable, and everybody couldn't do that. And then I also feel like by me being up there and then actually seeing the difference, though, like really seeing the difference, like okay, it is people that can get up every day, go to work, handle their business, and then when you go down the hill, a lot of people not really doing that. Like they just sitting around trying to, they depending on like the system and stuff like that. So I knew like, all right, either you could be like this or you could be like that. So it showed me two different sides of like, I don't know, my city basically.
And what'd you take from that? What'd you learn from that?
I learned that you have to do what you gotta do to live how you want to live. So I feel like the people who live down there, like, and like, it's no disrespect, but I feel like you have the opportunity to get yourself out of that position. So as kids, like, I feel like no kid should have to wonder why I gotta live like this, or why, I don't got what this kid got, or why I don't have no hot water, why my mattress on the floor, why I'm living like this, because they parents is not doing their best, not doing their best, not like I would I say living to their best ability. They not really like trying to change their situation, and it affects the kids. So I always told myself I'm not gonna do like I'm not just gonna not do nothing with myself because that's gonna affect my kid. And then who's to say she won't become a product of her environment and have the mindset that I got to get up out of that. Everybody don't like if you don't see nothing, then you're not gonna never know that it's out there. So that's kind of like the leverage that I had because I knew that it was more out there. A lot of people never been out of East Cleveland alone. Like
You mentioned your mother in this interview. What happened to your father?
I mean, typical black story. What happened to everybody father? We know what happened to black men. Um, I don't know. I just feel like he just got caught up in the system and he wasn't able to really raise me and my siblings. So I don't know. Over time, I just stopped trying to even care or be like, oh, where's my dad? Or I don't have a dad. Like, I'm my dad. Yeah. I don't really, I don't know.
What's your relationship with him these days?
Um, I can't say. Like, we don't really have a relationship.
When it comes to your parents, what age were you when they split?
I don't know, cause I don't. I don't know, cause I don't even think that they was like together after I was like 1 or 2. So I never really seen them be together, like be a family or be a couple.
Do you ever know why it didn't work out between the two?
I think that my dad would be in prison a lot, and I also think that my mom was in the streets, and that she was just trying to make a way for me and my sister. And then after that, she had my little brother, so she wasn't thinking about my dad. She not thinking about him. She thinking about how she gonna feed her kids.
How many siblings, aside yourself,
My
was it?
mom.
Yeah, same mother, same father.
Oh well, my mom only have 3 kids. It's me, my older sister, and my little brother.
So you were the only product between you, your mother, and your father?
Yep, my mom got 3 baby daddies.
And when your father did prison time, what was the longest stretch while you were
I
growing up?
don't know. He just always to keep going back and forth, back and forth. I don't know. I really don't.
When it comes to, and just to clarify, when you ended private school, was it because you just did not want to be there, or was it a financial issue?
I begged to not go there no more. My grandfather didn't care about being behind. He was going to try to figure out a way to make it work for me. He did not care about that. I begged him to let me go back to East Cleveland schools, and it's not because I didn't want a good education. Like I always been ahead. Like I always been intelligent, but I just couldn't focus. I don't know. It was just something. I just couldn't focus. I just couldn't focus. I hated it so bad. It's like I dreaded everything about it. I dreaded it. Like I hated the teachers. Like, I hated it there.
When it came to not being focused, was it a health issue?
No, it was a whole white staff. And I was used to like the hood teachers, and like even like if you had white teachers, they were still more like ethnic and had like a little, they knew like a little ebonics. I feel like those teachers at that private school, they didn't understand us. Like they didn't I don't know, they didn't understand me. They didn't understand me. They couldn't help me learn nothing. I feel like what they was teaching me was like not what I needed to know about my life. I like the fact that when I went to East Cleveland schools and I did see black women teachers or black male teachers, they kind of gave me an example of like, like a little bit of success or something, like somebody that looked like me and I'm pretty sure probably came from an environment like mine, and now you're a teacher. So if you tell me something, then I could probably relate to you more than I would relate to somebody else that never walked a day in my shoes. You don't understand what I'm waking up, coming to school, dealing with. You could not ever imagine. So I don't know. I think that's what it was for me.
When you did go to the private school, what percentage of the faculty was black?
I honestly had one. I think I had one white math. I mean, I had one black math teacher, and I had one black gym teacher, and that was it. Was no other. Oh, and the nurse aide was black, and she used to let me cut class in her office. That was my girl.
So what percentage would you say faculty, black versus
Percentage. You did ask me percentage. I would say like 98%, 97%
white?
white.
As far as black students, what would you say the percentage
It was 97% black students. And I mean, it's not that
at the
it's not
private
that I don't
school?
like white people. I love white people. I just feel like in our school systems, I just think that it should be a little bit more uh, um, um, the teachers that can relate to the students, because they don't be understanding. Like, a lot of kids be going through stuff. They be getting expelled. They be getting thrown out of school. They be coming to school fighting. A lot of kids be coming to school fighting and angry because they be dealing with shit at home. They be going through shit at home. They didn't eat last night. They woke up this morning. They didn't eat. Like, they been wearing the same clothes to school all week. They got 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants, and they've been wearing 1 pair of tennis shoes for 2 years, and everybody clowning them and everybody talking about her because her hair messed up, and like, it's just like they be going through stuff, and I just think certain people just want to understand you. If you know, you know.
Just one more clarification. When you went to the private school, 97% of the kids were black?
Yes, it was
Okay.
all black kids.
Now, you also said in this interview so far that some kids do get a chance to go to private school for free, but they had to do certain things to do that. What did
Yeah.
you mean by that? Just for somebody
I
watching
think
that might not know, what are those things to get into a private school for free?
I'm not exactly sure, but I think that you had to like sign up for a program or like get certain credits before you went to the school, or your parents had to make a certain amount or couldn't make a certain amount. My grandfather was actually an RTA driver, so I believe that he made too much for us to go there for free. Now, if he worked at McDonald's or if he worked as a janitor or something, then maybe maybe we could have went there for free, because it would have been like, oh, you don't make this much, you don't make enough for you to pay. But I guess they felt like he made enough to pay for us to go there.
When it comes to religion, you mentioned Christianity. Was it a certain denomination under Christianity that you follow?
I just believe in God, and I feel like at this point everybody be getting off into different type of Christianity and this religion and this religion. I know it's different religion. I just know that there's a higher power, and I feel like it's one God, and he's greater than all. And I just pray, and I just feel like we all have godliness within ourselves.
To be specific and to clarify also, would you say you do follow religion or you don't? Maybe you're
I
just
do. I mean, I
okay.
do follow religion, Christianity, but I mean, I'm not like a Lutheran or a What is it? A Catholic and all. I ain't. I don't even know what's the difference. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know.
And is it Christianity for you because that's how you were raised?
Yeah, that's how I was raised, and that's why I be trying to unlearn certain things that I was taught, and like, cause we can get groomed into things as we're kids, into certain things. So you have to unlearn stuff as you become an adult because it's based off what you believe, your beliefs, how you feel. So you can't just base your whole life off of what your mama told you because somebody told her that. No.
Now, when you mentioned this time in your life of your bottom point, and you said you were sleeping on a mattress on the floor, that was a shared mattress or that was your own mattress?
That was a shared mattress. We used to share the mattress. This one I had ran away. I ran away from my grandfather and I wanted to go be in the hood with my mama and my godmama. And my godmama had caught a case and my mama was going through stuff with her job. And she had like moved. My godmother had moved. So it was all of us. It was me, my god sisters, my god brothers. It was just all of us. And my mama had to figure it out for all of us, and it was a struggle that time, and it only lasted like that, like it was bad for like a year. It was bad. It was bad. Like I was stressed out. I was stressed. I was only in high school. I was stressed. Like I feel like that was one of my first experience of like really being stressed out.
What? Go ahead.
Like that, I knew like I never put my kid through no shit like this. Like I will never ever like I would do whatever I gotta do to make sure my daughter, my family would never have to experience nothing like that. Cause I saw how it kind of affected my mom to like have to go through that and have to watch us like go through that, and then her being used to having nice things and being in a nice place, and then from her to go up here and down here, it was just like it was hard for everybody.
When it came to you sharing a match, what would that look like?
On the floor, mattress on the floor, no TV in the room, one dresser in there, and we just used to be on our phones, and we we'd just be on our phones. We'd be just rapping to each other. We'd just be playing. We'd just be finding stuff to do. Like we'd be finding stuff to do. We entertained each other. Like we was all we had. So we made it work. We weren't really tripping. We just knew like, damn, we fucked up. Like we weren't really tripping while we was in it. We just knew we was fucked up, but we made the best out of it. We stayed happy. Like, I ain't gonna say like we was making ourselves be happy. We was torn up in the inside, but like we kept smiles on our face. Like we thugged it out. Like we knew we weren't gonna be like that for long. It was some shit we had to go through.
And was this when you were sharing this mattress? Was this you and one person? You and two people?
It used to be like me and Michaela, and then some of us, sometimes we sleep on the couch, or then sometimes you just make a pallet on the floor. Like, do what you gotta do.
Was that how rapping started for you? Was at this bottom point, or were you rapping before that?
A story. Okay, so we used to put on beats. Like we used to put on beats like the Migos and like Gucci Man, and we had like little freestyle battles. And this one I was like, I started smoking weed at like a little young age. So we used to be sneaking, going outside. We used to be sneaking, going outside, smoking weed, and we'd be coming back in the house and we'd be high. When we'd come back and we'd be high, we'd have like the giggles and stuff, and we'd turn on the beat and we'd be rapping to each other. And then I kind of felt like, dang, I got a little flow. Like they low-key can't fuck with me though. But my god sister, Michaela, kind of used to keep up with me sometimes. Sometimes she used to be, I used to be like, okay. So then I started like getting my shit together, and then we we just kept doing it. And then I started doing it with my friends. And that's not how I started rapping, though. Like, that was a joke to me. Like, I just was like, all right, okay. I can rap a little something, but I wasn't really taking this serious like that. But I had went through a breakup with my baby daddy. I was with my baby daddy since I was probably, like, in the 10th grade. And after I went through that, I was like, I always would write down how I felt. Like, I always would just have a book, like a notebook. Like, I didn't really have a diary, but I had a notebook. And in my notebook, I would just write certain shit. But when I would write stuff, me being always into music, like I play different instruments and stuff. And don't ask me because I'm not even gonna tell you. But but I play different instruments, and I just always loved music. Like I really loved music. Like I would sit in front of the speakers. Like I would lay right there. Like I'll fall asleep in front of the speaker. Like just listening to like Alicia Keys sing, Beyonce just sing, and like how they hit different notes and stuff, and try to do it. Like I thought I was gonna be a singer. Like I really thought I was gonna be a singer, but it didn't work like that. But every time when I used to write stuff, I would make it rhyme. So it was like to a point where I was writing poetry. Like I started liking doing it. So I was like writing little poems to myself. But I'm thinking like, man, that's corny. Like you lame as hell. Like I'm from East Cleveland. Like it's kind of embarrassing when you jump off the porch and you doing something creative or something that's like you be a little timid, like you be a little shy to come out and do some shit because you don't know if they gonna laugh at you, if it's gonna work, if they gonna take you serious. You don't know. You don't know if you're gonna get clout. You don't know. But I've always been the type of person that like I think about something and I'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. And I'll be like, man, fuck it. I ain't worried about what nobody gotta say about me because I already know if somebody says something that I don't like or like try to play my craft or something, I'm gonna be on their ass. Like it's not like I'm soft, so I didn't care if people was gonna talk about me. So that Monica So Gone challenge had came out and everybody was doing the So Gone challenge, but I just felt like ain't nobody do it right. So I'm like, you know what, I'm about to try to do it. So I had did it. And when I did the challenge, I had did it in my room. At this point, I had went back to my granddad's house because I just couldn't take it. Like I was used to being comfortable. Like I'm used to be able to go walk downstairs, go in the refrigerator, get in the shower. I ain't gotta worry about all the little extra. So at this point, I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm about to just listen to him, be strict, whatever. But I can't do this. Like I ain't even like I'm cool. So I'm in my room. I'm telling my sister, I'm like, bruh, come hear my rap. She like, oh, that's raw. That's raw. So she started recording me on her phone. So I'm like, oh, you gotta record me. So she recorded me. When I posted, when I had posted it, it had went crazy. Everybody was like, what? You know how to rap? This sound raw, but you should really record this and go to the studio. So I'm like, dang, I should go to the studio. So now I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't even know nothing about that. So I ain't go to the studio right then and there. But like, I feel like I did that. I feel like that was like the beginning of the summer. More so when it start like getting close to fall. I had went to the studio. And when I went to the studio, I don't think that's how it went. I don't remember. I don't remember that good. But when I went to the studio, I had did my first song. It was called New Vibe. Nope. That wasn't even it. My first song, I did a song with this girl from Cleveland. Her name Britt Bands, and Britt Bands was rapping before me, but we was actually in the band together. Like if you know about East Cleveland, it's a band called Shaw Band, and it's the band at the high school. But the high school band went to the Olympics. We used to travel all around the country, and we used to go to different HBCUs and stuff, and like do competitions, and we always win first place. So that was something that also had me musically inclined because I was really like, I really knew how to read music, play different instruments, dancing. I did a lot of stuff when it came to music. So Britt Bands used to be in the band too, so she loved music just as much as me, if not more. She started rapping before me, so I had like went to the studio with her. We had went to somebody's house, apartment building or something, and I did a verse on one of her songs, and we shot the video for free. She was fucking with the video nigga. Like, that was one of her little niggas. So she was fucking with the video nigga. So she like, shit, I'm about to have him come over, shoot us a video. So we like, bet we finna have a party. We had a party at her house. She had a little house. This is like probably her little first house. So she had a little party at her house. We had hella people at the party. We just shot the video there. I was looking ratchet. I had like 2 ponytails in my hair, like buns. I had on some booty shorts and like a crop top and some bullshit. I don't know. It was a mess, but that was like my first song. Then after that, I started going to the studio, like I started setting up my own sessions and just bringing my friends with me. So I just took off. I don't know. I just dropped, and then I started working with Ray Jr. And then when I started working with Ray Jr., he started giving me the game. Like he started like really showing me like how to structure a song, like how to make a hit, how to write a hit, like really how to put a song together. And at first it was like I was just watching him, like, cause he was like really popular in my city, and he one of the people that like already had reached the ceiling in the city. So everybody, he was like big homie as far as like rap. He was like big homie, like he still is. So I reached out to Ray, and Ray had like embraced me with open arms, and he just kind of like showed me the ropes, how to make money off my music, and like really like he really just showed me like what it was. It wasn't what I thought. Like I just thought that you could just go make a song and then put it up and then that's that. But he had taught me that it was more than that. Like he taught me about my image. He taught me like how to carry myself when I'm outside. He kind of like got me off. He got me off that ratchet shit. Like I used to be on some, oh yeah, I'm Tyler, I'm from the and ain't nobody that. He was kind of telling me like you gotta polish up. Like if you gonna do this, everybody gonna be looking, like one day everybody's gonna be looking up to you. Everybody's gonna know who you is in the city. So you gotta carry yourself a certain way if this what you really want. Like you can't be on that. Niggas don't like that. Like niggas don't want no ratchet girl that's not really, don't have no polish, not keeping herself up, always acting like a dude. Like, so that's when I'm like, oh, and then he had a wife. So I started like seeing how his wife would carry herself, and then like he started bringing me around bossy, classy women in the city because they fuck with him because of who he is and who his wife is. And it like they just kind of showed me more like of a polished way of how to handle myself as an artist, and just how to handle myself, period, a little bit. Like he kind of schooled me on that. But at the time I was a little young. So I'm thinking like, dang, what he want from me, or blah, blah, blah. But he was really just he was trying to help me. He was trying to like stop me from bumping my head and teach me stuff that nobody taught him. So we had ended up like kind of falling out.
Because
We had kind of fell out because I got a strong personality and he got a strong personality, and I felt like I couldn't, like me being his artist and being like kind of up under him. I felt like to a certain extent he kind of had me on the leash, and it was like I can't say, I felt like I don't think this what is I don't think this what it I don't think that this is what it was now, but then I felt like he don't want me to be no better than him, or like he trying to keep me in this little space, like he don't want me to grow, and I just wanted to grow. Like I don't like being at the same point. I feel like, okay, I completed this. I'm not the type of person that when I complete something, I give myself a pat on the back. Like I'm not that type of person. I'm the type of person, like if I do something, if all right, like say like if I reach a goal, I'm rarely like, I might post and pop my shit, but I really like celebrate my wins. Like I really celebrate my wins. I be ready to move on to the next thing. Like I be ready to knock down the next goal. So it was like once I got to a certain point in my city, and I had 3 records on the radio at once. I had 3 records on the radio at one time, and I kind of got the big head. Like, not even that I got the big head. I feel like I just wanted more. It was like, damn, this all it is. This all it is. Like I'm thinking like, oh, I always wanted to be on the radio. Like I wanted to be on the radio. Once I got on the radio, I'm like, okay, now what? Like, and that's when I'm like, dang, this how it really be. And I ain't like that. I just felt like it ain't what I expected. I wanted more. I felt like I should have had more than what I had. I feel like I should have been further than where I was at. I just felt like I deserved more and that I was settling and I didn't want to settle. And we just started bumping heads. Like I wanted to do this, he wanted me to do that. I felt like this, he felt like that. It was just like we was just opposites. Like but I just wanted my vision of who I wanted to be as an artist to be seen and to play out. But he was trying to build me up to the point where he know, like, if you do this, it's gonna work. If you look like this, it's gonna work. I wanted to be myself. I didn't want nobody to. I didn't want him to think like he made me. So I had to stop that. Like I had to, like, kind of pump the brakes on so much of the do this, do that, do that. Cause it's like, all right, I am grown. This is my career. Like I want to do what I want to do. I want to do what the fuck Ty Bree want to do. I am me. Like. I ain't gonna have nobody just keep bossing me around, telling me to do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. But he wasn't really bossing me around. He was just trying to be big bruh. Like, he was really just trying to help me. Like, all right, don't do this, because if you do this, then it's gonna happen. And then I'm like, whatever, whatever. Then I did that, then that happened. And now he like, see, not, you know? So, you live and you learn. But that's my dog. We done had our talk. We cool now. We ain't got no beef, but we did definitely had a little do. I wanted to little scuffle for a minute, but it's cool.
So how did things get back on track? You initiate the conversation, he initiates the conversation.
I think actually nobody really. I don't even think like we initiated nothing. I think that time went by. He grew, and I grew, and we both grew as people. Like he branched off and he started doing movies and opened up a restaurant, and then it was like I had got my record deal, and I was really sprouting. Like I started to really like grow, and so he seen something that he he basically planted a seed, and he seen me growing. So like, how you gonna be mad? He can't be mad at me no more. He can't be tripping on me no more. Like, this what you wanted for me, right? You wanted to see me blossom. So it just kind of, time went by and we just let that shit go, and we just linked up at his restaurant, rap snacks. We linked up there. I sat down, he made me a smoothie, and we just talked about shit. We both apologized to each other. We both was kind of wrong. We took shit to social media and all of that, and it just went way too far because we both from the same city. He from East Cleveland just like me. Like he was really trying to help me.
And how long was that fallout between you two before everything got rekindled?
Damn, I don't know. I think that shit went on for like a year to a little minute. Like we just start talking to each other recently on some cordial shit. Like I probably say the beginning of this year. Cause I was still in my mode where I wanted to pop my shit. I felt like shit. I'ma shit on everybody who counted me out, or anybody who felt like I wasn't gonna do everything that I did. Period. That's how I feel.
And just to clarify, his restaurant's called Raps, not Rap Snacks.
Oh, I didn't mean to say rap snacks. Raps. My bad. Sorry, Ray. I meant to say, y'all know I be tripping. I meant to say raps. Raps, yeah.
Now, I want to tie up some loose ends on what you just said here. This record deal, what record deal are you referencing here that you got?
I had a situation with RCA, a joint venture with District 18 and RCA.
When it came to you being an artist under Ray Jr., was there actual paperwork between you two?
Yep. We had paperwork. I had to get a lawyer and I had to do a whole bunch of stuff. That's another reason why I was mad at him for a long time, because I felt like, damn, I got to do all of this, and he took my song down. So Bobbin is Bobbin is my biggest record. That's the record that everybody know me from. If you don't know me from Wake Up with the song with me and Mulatto. Bobbin is my biggest record. So when Bobbin came out, my city went crazy about that song. To this day, I don't know what it is about that song that they love, but they just really love that song. And in the midst of me and him falling out, he snatched my song down. And not even in the midst, because we kind of was bickering back and forth to each other, like, nah. And it was kind of in the air that, like, I don't want to fuck with him no more. I don't want to fuck with her no more. She too hard to deal with. He too hard to get through to. Like, that was already in the air. So I'm like, fuck it. Like, damn, what you think I should do? You feel like I should get a lawyer to go over my paperwork or something to get me, and I guess when I said that to him, he like, what? Lawyer? I look up the next day, something just told me, because we had a little feud, something just told me, like, go look on YouTube. When I get on YouTube, my song was going, and that's when I flipped. Because I feel like you spitting in my face, like you spitting in my food. Like, that's like spitting in my food. You don't want me to eat. You don't want me to make no money. How anybody going to hear my song? Like, how anybody going to, like, that's the only way that people going to be able to know me. It was on YouTube, and it was on Apple Music, and he had took it off of both of them. And I felt like, damn, like, this basically, like, my livelihood. Like, I'm getting booked off this. Like, I'm feeding my daughter off this. Like, you don't want me, like, you don't, like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do that? I felt like that was in my eyes, that was the ultimate betrayal. So anything that I said after that was just me. That was just off of me feeling betrayed. Like, it was up. That's how I feel. But that's some old shit. I don't really care about that shit no more, because we ain't even, like, I don't know. That allowed me to grow. That whole situation allowed me to grow.
When you first initially meet Ray and things progressed between you two, it was strictly a platonic relationship?
What's platonic?
Not romantic, not sexual?
Oh, no, I never had no sexual relations with Ray. He always was, like, big brother me. Like, he never came at me like that. Like, he never tried no funny stuff with me. He never, like, gave me that vibe. He always was strictly business. Like, the nigga used to make me mad because he would be calling me ugly sometimes. Sometimes he would make me mad because he'd be like, I don't like that. That look ugly. That outfit ugly. Or he'd be playing, though. He'd be playing with me, but he'd be like, yo, ugly ass. And I used to be in my head like, nigga, I'm a baddie. What the fuck? Like, nigga, what? Like, I felt like, don't be calling me ugly, but he used to be playing with me. Like, it was just always a brother-sister thing. We never had no relationship like that, like, ever.
When you posted So Gone, what platform was it on that you posted it?
On Instagram. I posted that on Instagram, and it went crazy.
When you were smoking weed and rapping, was that before the Bottom Point mattress situation, or that was in the midst of that?
You know, I was on that mattress. I had to smoke that weed. I was going through shit. Yes, I was smoking while I was a teenager. Yes, I was smoking. I was smoking that weed. I was smoking that weed. I don't know. I feel like we was bad. In my neighborhood, we was bad. Like, we was bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know if other neighborhoods is like, no, for sure. In Cleveland, like, when we was kids, we used to walk. It used to be gangs of us. Like, it used to be at least like 15, 20 of us walking, going to different neighborhoods. We used to be fighting. We used to be throwing doinking cars, throwing eggs, rocks, and all type of stuff at people's cars. Like, we was wow. Like, we used to be doing what we wanted to do. We used to be doing what we wanted to do, and we knew, like, when you get home, you getting in trouble. But you used to just risk that getting in trouble, getting your phone took, or getting that ass whooped for that kick it. We used to be having fun. Like, we used to find somebody like at the liquor store or something. Like, we was bad for real. We used to find somebody at the liquor store or like grocery store or something, and we would get like a bottle of like Colorasi and like the big gallon, and we would like pour it in water bottles, and we'd be walking up and down the street drinking wine like like we was grown, we was bad. I don't understand it. I would whoop my daughter ass. I whoop her ass. We was bad.
What neighborhood was this that you're
We
referencing?
used to be in East Cleveland. We used to be on Taylor. We used to be in East Cleveland, on Hayton, on Ardenoff, on Offshore. Sometimes we'd be like on Lakeview. Sometimes we'd be like on St. Clair. Like, we'd be in different areas, and we would walk or get on that bus. We didn't care.
Well, you said your neighborhood, so I didn't know if you had a
Oh,
neighborhood
yeah.
you were referencing for your personal neighborhood.
Oh, okay, yeah. East Cleveland.
Now, how'd you get out of that bottom point? You said it was about a year with the whole mattress situation.
Yeah.
How'd you get out of that?
Well, I told you, like, eventually my mom, she ended up getting, like, a better job. So she never, one thing about my mother, like, no matter what struggle she went through, like, she'll be down for a little minute, but she not the type of person, she not just gonna sit in her misery. Like, she gonna get up off her ass. A lot of her friends, they still be in the same situations. Like, they still live in the hood. Like, they still be doing the same shit. My mama, like, they be trying to call my mama bougie a little bit, too. But my mama, like, she not gonna just sit in her misery. She gonna get up off her ass. She got her a better job. She moved out the hood. She don't like living in the hood, for one. So that, I knew for her to be living down there and not in one of the suburbs in Cleveland, I knew that, like, she was, like, going through some shit. But she got up out of that. She snapped up after that. She moved to Euclid, got her a good job, another good job, and was back on her feet. Like, she ain't gonna sit like that for long. We don't play like that.
What kind of a job did she have?
She used to be my mama. One thing about my mama, if a scientist call her tomorrow and ask her for the job position, she gonna take it. Period.
But back then, what was it?
Back then, I think that she was working for like a what's them companies? Telephone company. What is it?
Telemarketer?
She wasn't a telemarketer. She was a
Customer service?
Yeah, like a customer service, and she'll be working at the desk at the computer. She was like one of them. She ain't like that job.
But that's the
Because I ended up getting the same job as her eventually, and I hated it. So I know she hated it.
Was that the job that she had when she was able to get you out of that bottom point?
I don't know. My mama done had a couple jobs.
You mentioned you do have an attitude of some sort.
I do.
Was that something that you've had diagnosed in some sort of sense?
How can you get diagnosed with an attitude? No, it's not nothing that I've been diagnosed. It's just something that I'm trying to fix. It's something that I'm trying to work on because it's really hard for me to control my mouth. And sometimes it's hard for me to control my anger. And that's something that I've been dealing with since I was a kid. Like, I always been an emotional person, but when I get angry and emotional, it's different because I take it to another level. And I call that person that come out of me Carmen.
And
Crazy shit.
that anger, have you ever taken anger management class for? Or
Yes, I was in anger management classes when I was in school, and I had a counselor. I was in anger management classes when I was in elementary school, and then like I felt like that wasn't really effective because I still had my attitude problem. But once I got older and I did get to high school, it was like you can't keep just being angry. Like, what's wrong? Like, what are you dealing with? So that's when I had to get a counselor. And I had to start talking to my counselor about the shit that be bothering me because bitches is going crazy and bitches might catch a body. Period.
was the counselor effective at all?
And she was effective because she would tell me stuff that, she would deal with and how she would deal with it. So it started helping me cope. And I thought a lot of the stuff was kind of lame, like the breathing, like the counting to three. But me counting to three is sometimes I just feel like that keep me from saying a lot of shit and doing a lot of shit when I just count to three. Then I can think some shit through because I will flip out like this, and then after I flip out or just go nuts because I don't I don't really just go crazy for no reason. Like I'm not crazy. Like I'm not crazy, but I just don't play about me or how I feel. I'ma stand on how I feel. I'ma stand on what I said. Like I'ma stand on that. So whenever anybody or a situation go against what the fuck was supposed to be going down, then I'm addressing it. And then the way I address it, I just be coming off a little aggressive, and I be trying to work on my mouth because my mouth is some shit, like for real. It's a little bad.
When it comes to anger management, is that something, or when it comes to your anger, is that something you have control of at this point, or is that something you need to seek a professional with still?
I don't think I don't know. I do want to talk to a professional sometimes, but shit, I honestly learned to pray. Like I just learned that I be having to pray. Like once you get older, like we not kids. So some stuff is like at a certain point it's not cute. It's not cute for you to just be rude. It's not cute for you to just have a nasty ass attitude. It's not cute. It's a reflection of you. So whatever you dealing with on the inside, you need to address that, get it up out of you because when you start taking that out on other people or it start affecting your business and stuff like that, it's like nobody's gonna put up with that. Like you grown as hell. So it's like I know like I can cut it on and I can cut it off. Sometimes it's a little unbearable, my facial expressions, my little sarcasticness, or me just might snap. Like sometimes I might just snap and then I just snap back, but like don't make me snap all the way because I will go there. But I don't even like to get to that point because after I get to that point, I be feeling a little dumb. Like, bitch, you ain't even have to do all that. But like I said, I'm going to stand on me. So even if I do feel dumb, I'm not going to tell you I feel dumb. I'm not going to tell the person that I felt dumb. I might hit you up a couple days later like, yeah, that might have, addressed the situation a little different. Sometimes I ain't reaching out to shit. I ain't reaching out to clear up nothing. Not clearing up nothing. I don't care what the situation was. We gonna go to the grave with that. I said what I said, and I did with that as you please. It depends on the situation and the person. Depends on if I love you or not. Because if I don't love you, then fuck you. I say whatever.
When it comes to the father of your child, what is the current status between you two?
He cool. He a good dad to my daughter. My daughter love her dad. She a daddy girl.
Why did that relationship end?
Because like I just didn't want to be with him. It's not him, it's me.
And who actually, technically speaking, broke up with who?
Who broke up with who?
Yeah. Did
I
you
don't
break
get
up
broke
with
up
him?
with. I don't get broke up with. You don't break up with me. I just stopped fucking with the nigga because I ain't want to be with him. He caught me doing some shit and I just let it go. Like, okay. That was what it was. He had went through my phone.
And what age were you when you became a mother?
I was 19 when I had my daughter. I got pregnant at 18. And I had my daughter at 19. I had my daughter in 2017.
And you were,
I was 19.
and you had graduated before then.
Yeah, I was done with school. Whew. Luckily, I wasn't pregnant in school. Because if a bitch was pregnant in school, then I'd have been salty. I'm not laughing at nobody that was pregnant in school, but I'm just saying I would have been a little salty though. Like, I ain't want to have no pregnant belly at school, even though, like, it's a lot of good moms. Like, I know a lot of good young moms. My friend, one of my closest friends, she a good-ass young mom. I think she had her son at 15 and a good-ass mother doing better than a lot of bitches that don't even have kids. So, I don't think a kid is a bad thing all the time. A lot of times, like, my daughter helped me get on my shit. My daughter made me get on my shit. Like, that was my main reason. Like, she the main reason that I even really took rap serious, because I felt like, damn, this is one of the ways that I'm gonna really be able to make some good money. Once I start seeing like money, like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is one of the ways that I can really be able to make it out. Like, I can really take care of my family. I could really change everybody's life doing this if I really take it serious.
So, just for clarification, you find out you're pregnant while you're still in high school. You're just not showing.
No, I didn't find out I didn't get pregnant until that summer.
Okay.
Like, after high school, like, I got pregnant that summer, like the end of that summer. Yep, I got pregnant. And I was salty. I was crying. I was crying. I was just a little scared. Like, I had never been pregnant before, and I had knew a lot of my friends had already been pregnant, had abortions and stuff. So it was like, what I'm gonna do? Am I gonna keep my baby? Am I gonna keep my baby, or am I just gonna go the easy route and just get rid of it? But I'm like, shit, I laid down and did it, so why would I not have my kid? And I was terrified to get rid of it. I'm gonna say it because at the time when I was thinking about it, I I don't really know. She was just a little seed. But at the time, I'm like, should I keep this little seed or should I just let it? But I didn't want to do that. I was terrified to do that. So I kept my baby, and I'm grateful that I did, because she changed my life for the better.
And was that the first time you were ever pregnant in your life?
Yes, that was the first time I was ever pregnant in my life. Never had an abortion. Never had been pregnant. I thought I could have kids. I was busting it open. I was really busting it open, but I thought I could have kids because, like, I didn't get pregnant till then. So.
The father of your child, was that your first love at the time?
Yep, that was my first love. That was my boo baby at the time. That was my little swoop. Like, everybody thought we was gonna be together forever. Like, everybody thought we was gonna be together. No. That was a little young puppy love. We knew. We were so used to each other.
And for time reference, it's November 2021 now.